One woman, I think he's at like 900 or something.
Some phrases that men hate to hear. Son, the big ones hurt. Yeah, what up, good people? Welcome to another episode of the Strategically Reckless Podcast. I am your host, Jay Brown, a.k.a. your favorite foster dad, a.k.a. Mr. 710. And I am so glad that you are joining me once again. Yeah. Hey, look. I'm going to go ahead and I ain't even going to apologize because it's meant to be like this. The show was meant to be like this because I had some things that I needed to talk about. And y'all going to be all right. Y'all going to be all right. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Y'all are dope as always. On tonight's show, we are going to talk about some more WNBA issues. We also going to talk about two Americas, some internet chaos, as well as Fellowship 2026 a little bit. We're going to talk about the best and the worst airports. Because, you know what, I realized some things this weekend about myself that you had it, when you had these realizations and it hit you and it's about you. It hit you. And you almost be like, oh, yeah, that's damn, I might be a little bogus. I might be, but then again, probably not. Probably not. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. You're only gonna have me today. Mailman Moby had to deliver that mail real late. So he was not able to get off in time in order to get on, hop on the podcast this evening, which is quite all right. I understand that duty calls. That duty definitely calls. But speaking of people that was called to duty, I currently have internet service with a company that rhymes with K, C, and C. And I've had this service for a little bit over a year. And you know what? Spotty at best. You can't, I feel like it's one of those things where you get what you pay for. And if you switch from a company because they were costing you so much, but it wasn't necessarily that the service was bad. It was that promo ran out and you didn't want to keep paying it. That was us. So we found another company that rhymes with K, C, and C. And they got us installed. They left my fiber wire exposed. They did not bury it. And so one day I went, while I was waiting on them to bury it, I went to take it and set it up in the tree line that's in front of my house. Just so it'll be off the ground. People be walking. The city comes through with the prisoners and cut the grass in front of my house and whatnot. And so, I get, all of these things take place. And what I did not want to do is have my internet cord be damaged by somebody that was just walking past or driving by or cutting grass. I have a part of my grass right out here in the front that I don't cut that often. I take a weed whacker over there because I can see where I'm standing, but I don't want to get too out of control on the tractor and run over that wire. So I called them for the third time to get them to bury this cord. And the guy came out. They finally got somebody to come on out. We'll come over there today. We'll come over there today. Don't you worry about it. And who the guy that they sent over? He didn't present as somebody that was going to fix the issue. That was problem number one. And so he came over, he started looking at some stuff. Next thing you know, his boy pulls up, and the buddy that got here first was in the little work truck. The dude who pulls up second is in a sedan, a Malibu of some sort, maybe. He comes up to the house. Hey, man, what's going on? Anything wrong with your internet? No. Other than the line not being buried like a year and a half ago. Can y'all get this buried soon? Can you get me on the schedule so that it can be buried soon? And you know what I did? Like, yeah, man, I could, I can get that fixed, taken care of for you. You know, 10 minutes after he got here, my internet stopped working. Stopped working while he was here. Now I got a problem. I had one problem, and now you made me have two problems. So I go back outside. The rep is still here. Hey, man. Your man's got called to do one thing, to get me on the schedule to get this blind buried so he could see what was going on. And then he started doing stuff, and now my internet ain't working at all. And this dude's response was, hey, man, who is your phone service with? Because you know what you could do if you just sign up for this wireless right up and through here. You can sign up for this wireless, and if your internet was able to go out, if it was ever to go out, you can just log on and use your wireless for your Wi-Fi. As if he was telling me something that I couldn't currently do. I got a mobile hotspot. I can do that. But why is my internet not working right now? And now this dude got to go do something over here. He got to go do something over there. And my internet was only supposed to be out for 30 minutes. And then it was another 30 minutes. And that second 30 minutes turned into 5 days. 5 days. No damn internet. And here's part, you know what? It's hard to not, like, I'm trying not to blame myself, because I'm like, you know what, that cord just was outside. Just raw dogging outside. Everybody else's cord been buried. My cord just out, just raw. And my internet was working with this cord, just raw dogging. Well, it was working a little bit while it was raw dogging the elements. And it wasn't until the K, C, and C dude come over. Now my internet ain't working. So when I get back from my trip yesterday, they were scheduled to come out. The guy came out. They give you the window, in which that window, I hate that 4-hour window. That's such a big gap. Like, that 4-hour window is crazy, because every time there's a 4-hour window, if you are available, let's say that window is from 12 to 4, if you are available from 12 to 3:15, they will be here at 3:19. Like, hey, man, we tried to. And if you wasn't going to be available until 12:06, but you was going to be available the rest of the time, they was going to be there at 11:58. Like, we got done early with our last trip, and so we tried to slide through. We got to put you on the schedule for tomorrow between 2 and 8. That's nonsense. And so Buddy went out there, he tested the internet. And you know what? I'm going to back up just a little bit. Dude got the internet to turn back on. He got the first guy got the internet to turn on for a day. For a few hours. Here's the problem. I left the following morning. The internet was working. My wife called me and was like, hey, the internet ain't working no more. You got to call your guy. Fast forward to the new tech coming out today. He goes up to the front where my cord was originally out there raw dogging the elements, and where I had put it in the tree so it would be up off the ground. The first tech took it out the tree and put it on the ground. That Thursday, the prisoners came through with the riding lawnmower with the city and cut everything up in the front, all up there by the street, which included my internet line. We had no shot of troubleshooting it back on because there was no connection. The raw dogging of the internet lines that weren't in the trees was all a bad idea. And soon as, I said, it's 5 days, no internet, because dude took it out the tree and put it on the ground, and then it got ran over. It was up there in pieces. And you know what? That outdoor line, it is no bigger. It is no bigger than this. Whoa. Knocking down camera trying to show y'all something. Uh-oh. No, I'm wilding. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's no bigger than just a regular cord, just like this. Outside, so I'm not expecting for them to see it. Come on, man. Come on, man. I didn't know if I was going to be able to do the show today because I wasn't sure if I was going to have internet. And not that I couldn't just do it from my phone, but everything moves so much smoother while you have it. 5 days without the security system being on, the cameras being on. Man. My wife had to sleep with that, hey, with that I, with that FAFO. That's so crazy. And look, if y'all thought raw dogging, my internet line raw dogging outside was a little bit out of pocket, raw dogging will be used a little bit later on in this show. Don't you worry about it. I look for every opportunity to say it just because it's funny to me. But this weekend, Fellas Trip 2026, my opportunity to be outside. What up, Charmaine? How you living, cuz? Charmaine, I need you to get ready next week. Clear your calendar, man. We're going to do a show next week. If you can hop on, if you can pop on. Yeah, that bill going to be discounted. It should be. Now, here's the problem when they talk about that discount, right? When when the internet go out, they be like, yo, we going to credit your account for the time that the internet was out, and then it'd be like $1.48. No, 5 days on something y'all did. That it was working before y'all showed up, and then y'all showed up, and now it's not working no more? Yeah. Half. I don't care. Half. You messing with the business. We work from home. You working for the business. You messing up the business. We gotta figure something out. I ain't talking about a week of stars subscription. Or you be like, hey, you know what you get? You get a free trial period of the cooking channel. I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want the cooking channel free for a month. I don't want stars free for a month. Ain't it supposed to be a new show coming on? One of them 50 cent shows? Yeah, I'm straight right now. I gotta take something off that bill. That's what I'm talking about. Cause KCNC was wilding when they was out here. But look, Fellas Trip 2026, we was out in Tahoe, Lake Tahoe, Nevada / California. And it had been, it had been almost, wow, 10 years since we had our last one down in New Orleans. And part of the reason why it was 10 years was that one of the guys lost his wedding ring in New Orleans. And so getting that pass like we used to, I don't even think he was doing nothing. But going home, I could not imagine coming home from Fellas Trip 2026 and having to explain to my wife that I lost my wedding ring up in Lake Tahoe. I know she would have thought I would have been getting on some of them white girls that was up there, even though she know what my preference is. I know this. It's so insane. Man, but listen, it was so good to catch up to the guys, man. Catch up with the guys. I'm talking about, we've been friends for over 26 years now. And so it's a blessing to have some people that I mean, at this point, they more than friends. That you this far in, you just hope that you guys remain friends, because it's a good group of guys. We ain't been in no trouble. We all got families and whatnot, multiple kids, and all they kids older. I'm the only one that's out here irresponsible with toddlers and 5-year-olds and whatnot. Everybody else got college kids now. You don't think he wasn't? No, man. I think he can't go no more. We are not on the friends list. He can't go no more. We are out of that. You remember that? I forgot what phone carrier back in the day had that friend circle where you could call them and you not have to pay night and weekends. Yeah, we out of that. We out of that circle. We can't even, we not on the agenda no more. But all right. The Wednesday, I left on Thursday morning, early. So early that I did not go to sleep on Wednesday night. And I was just doing stuff. I'm talking about, I was making shirts and trying to get the grass cut and didn't do that. And it was just a phone call here that would slow me down just a little bit. A phone call there trying to get some stuff figured out. And then it was just more and more just stuff that was just included in that day, and to the point where I had to be at I had to leave to get to the airport at 3:30, and I did not go to sleep. I didn't go to sleep. But what I did know is when I got on that plane, I was about to sleep in a real inappropriate way. Hey man, I'm about to get to sleep. Don't y'all play with me. And then of course, our flight was a little delayed. Why? Because we did not have a pilot or a crew. Gotta wait for the pilot, man. They'll be on their way, man. Don't even worry about it. We gonna get y'all loaded up. Y'all gonna be on y'all way. Y'all gonna be on y'all way. So that was the only snag in the timing of any of the flights. It's the only snag. Now, I've realized about airports, rental car situations and whatnot. There are certain parts of airports that I just do not like. The rental car situation in Reno / Lake Tahoe is horrible. every time that we've had to rent a vehicle from there. Almost every time. I think my pops and them, they get away with it. Sometimes it's been easy for them. But every time that I've had to, like when my wife and I went, we started off with a trying to go through Toro. And while we were on the way, the dude that I had the car booked from, he was like, "Hey, can't rent it to you no more, bro. You you got to find another vehicle because my car it don't got good brakes no more, and I got to get some other work done." Why was it even listed, fam? You knew this before you had it listed. What you did was, and I'll just believe this just because I'm a cynical type person, and I feel like people do what people do when they're allowed to do what they do. Is they looked at my profile picture and was like, hey, nah, I got bad brakes. You don't want no car with bad brakes, right? And the answer is no. But at the same time, come on, dog. You knew your car wasn't working. And those brakes might have been good if I didn't look like I look. But I don't know. 3:30 in the a.m. Yes, why did I have to leave so early? Because the prices of the flight. That is why. That makes all the difference to me. Is how much is this flight? That'll determine when I'm going to go. That'll determine when I go. It's all good, though. It's all good. First flight, cool. I ended up... Now, I have both going and coming back. We had to stop in Phoenix. We had a layover in Phoenix, and Phoenix is one of those airports that I cannot stand to go to ever. I've never had a good stop in Phoenix. And I think the first time, the thing that started it was getting to Phoenix and Phoenix being shaped like a whole bunch, the Phoenix airport, Sky Harbor being shaped like a whole bunch of H's at that time, side by side. The only messed up part is you would have to go all the way up the bottom part of an H to get to a restaurant that might be, 4 H's down. Like it was crazy. And they didn't have a whole lot of good stuff in there. And the first time I was there, I was like, I want to grab something to eat. Okay. I'm at the McDonald's. I was fiending. I have no idea why that day I was fiending for a burger, some fries, and a shake. You're at the airport. All your stuff should work. Everything up in here should work. Hey, buddy, can I get a double cheeseburgers, no pickles, no onions? Let me get medium order of fries and a strawberry shake. And dude responded, "Nah." Excuse me? No, you can get the double cheeseburger and the fries, but you can't get no shake. It ain't working. Why didn't you say that first? You could have said that first. Hey, I'll shake the machine down. As a matter of fact, why don't all y'all McDonald's in general, all of y'all, just take shakes off the menu? Just as a common courtesy, just take it off the menu. All restaurants that have zero intentions on ever cleaning that machine again, take it out the store, take it off the menu. There's a high level of insanity that y'all keep this on the menu just so that people could come up to the window and ask for it, just so you have to be like, no, our shake machine is down. It ain't been up in years. But you keep that menu, you keep it on the menu. You put a McRib back up there and take it off before you take the shakes off the menu, and I have no idea why. And if you're still eating McRibs, I'm gonna report you to ICE or somebody, because that's out of pocket. But when I tell you, going back to Lake Tahoe to just hang out, man, it was so dope. Now there's a couple different versions of Tahoe. It's the Tahoe that you go when you go to ski. It's the Tahoe that you go when you want to go hang out in the nature. And then there's the Tahoe that you get when it's kind of in between. And so what I mean is, so the first time going to Tahoe, it was in March. It was in March or April. We were there for a bowling tournament, and 70 degrees in Reno. You drive up the mountain, you could see that 70 go 60, 57, 54, 46, 31. It's snowing as you're going up and over the mountain. And when I tell you I had never been so scared in my life because it was snowing, and I've been in snow on flat streets. Being on snow in the mountains, way up in the real mountains. These ain't the fake mountains. These real mountains out there. Like, you look down and you like, ooh, I wouldn't make it. You know what it is. Scared. But you get the best of both worlds. You get this sunshine. Lake Tahoe got a beach. And then this beautiful body of blue water. Because most lakes in the U.S., if you know like I know, them lakes be brown. I'm be honest with you, I don't know how people be getting in that brown water. I have no idea how them people be getting in that brown water. That water that you can't see? You can't see in there? I ain't getting in. And you can't, people be getting in that brown water, the brown lake water, like it's cool. And maybe, just maybe, I might be a little bougie. But if that water brown, I ain't getting in. Lake Tahoe got that real blue water, but it's probably real deep. Had that real blue water. I was like, oh, I can mess with this, but this lake got real fish in there. Yeah, it got real fish in there. Like I saw a whole lot of fish. I saw like the little doctor fish that was hanging out by the boats. But I know it's some bigger fish in there, which is why we did not do the we had a chance to do one of the fishing tours, and they was gonna be out there catching them real fish out there. Almost baby sharks. If the water ain't blue, I ain't getting in. I agree. I agree 100%. Now, there are people that will. But it won't be me though. Can't do it. I can't do it. And so we had a real good time out there. We did this boat tour. Everybody was cool. We went out and grabbed something to eat at Lucky Beavers. Yeah. Now, here's the part that's funny. about being in Lake Tahoe at the time that we were in Lake Tahoe. The demographics were interesting. 4 black dudes hanging out in Lake Tahoe, and we were the only group of black guys that were there. We saw now this, the number of black dudes that we saw that were with other black people was 1, 2, 3, 4. They were older than us. There 2 elderly couples. Everybody else was in mixed company. 2 other dudes that was in mixed company with a whole bunch of Caucasian dudes, and my level of concern just went up just a little bit. Like, hey, bro, whatever you do, stay in public with these guys. Don't be going down on Lake Tahoe. Don't go on no hunting trips. Don't go up in the cabin. You good? You straight, bro? You straight? Hey, you show. You show. You show. And the black women that was there, they were in mixed company as well, but it wasn't with their homegirls. It wasn't with their homegirls. And I was like, wow. And so every time we walked into a place, if the music was playing, it didn't sound like it was playing as much as it was. If conversations were being had, those are all put on pause. Because a whole bunch of black dudes just walked up in here. That happened at Lucky Beaver. That happened when we went to go play golf. We walked in there and we walked into the pro shop. Right when you walk into the pro shop, and here we were at Genoa Golf Club. It's a public course. It's Genoa, Genoa, is one of the oldest settlements, if not the oldest settlement in Nevada. You picking up what I'm putting down? When we walked in there, the bar was directly in front of the door. There were 3 white guys sitting at the bar. One of them was standing, and you could tell that they completely stopped what they were doing when we walked in. I am dressed mildly like I know what I'm doing. Dressed like it, at least. They don't know that I don't. One of the other guys was dressed like he play. And then there was 2 of them that was dressed like I'm either about to go hoop or I'm about to go hang out at the park. Either way, we here now. Y'all don't be weird. Just don't be weird. That's all we ask. Is just don't be weird. But when y'all stop doing what y'all doing, because we walked in, now y'all about to be weird. And I can't help myself sometimes. If y'all gonna be weird, I'm gonna help you. Hey, so as we were driving up, we noticed that it was, like I said, we've been primarily the only black people everywhere that we went. And so I'm not gonna be uncomfortable in my skin. Y'all gonna be uncomfortable. I'm just hanging out. We can play golf. It's public. I go play. If it's private, I will find somewhere else. Like, it's cool. And so while the lady was trying to get, she was getting the information together. I know when we drove in, I saw some deer out in the out there on the course somewhere, and I just had to ask her, excuse me, is there any wildlife out there on the course that's not safe for us to be around. And the lady looked at me. My friends started laughing. They knew exactly what I was talking about. She started naming off that there might be deer or foxes out there. I was referring to the ones that walk on two legs, that don't act like they have sense sometimes, that can't control themselves. They do barbaric things. Are there any of those out there? Just need to make sure that we're going to be safe. That all of these upstanding men are going to make it back to their wives. That's all I'm worried about, because I don't want none of that wildlife out here that's indigenous to the Genoa area that might take offense to some outside influence making their way into the town. We were also told, hey, you know what, it's a bar right down the street. It's a bar right down the street. You know what, you guys can go down there. It's the oldest bar in Nevada. No, we're not going to make that one. We're not going to make that one, because the town that we drove through, like to get from where we were staying, our Airbnb, to get to the golf course, you had to drive through their town. That town looked real. Antebellum is not the word, but if it was like a Western version of antebellum, then you would have that. You would have Genoa. Yeah, let's hurry up and get on up out of here. We good. We go ahead and play our little golf. We good. Nobody messed with us. It was just a couple people that stopped and looked, and then kept it moving. But what you're not gonna do? We're not going to be on the news. In other news, 4 black men have been gone missing. Come on, man. Come on, man. But we had a good time. The air was fresh. The weather was good. The water was thin. The air was thin, though. So, where the Airbnb was, we had to walk up 1, 2, 3, 4 flights of stairs to get to the Airbnb. And we were out of breath almost every time we did it. To the point where one guy was like, hey Siri, why am I out of breath walking up 4 flights of stairs in Lake Tahoe? And they said the air was thin. It was the elevation. We were 7,520 square feet above sea level. We was up there. Up there. Gosh, that was so crazy. That was so super crazy. Like, we was feeling like, damn, am I that bad out of shape? Because I got questions now. Are we that bad out of shape? Oh, look, when I tell you we was that high up, we were so high up that helicopters were flying. Like, the helicopters flew like almost a little bit above, like would have been right over our roof if it was close. But helicopters were close. The moon at its highest point, we was looking dead right at it. It didn't even look real. It didn't feel real to be that high. We was so high up that mosquitoes didn't even go up there. We ain't none of us thought about no off. We just raw dogging the elements up there with no bug spray. And ain't none of us come back with a whole bunch of mosquito bites. Nobody complained about a single mosquito bite. We were just raw dogging without the off. No mosquitoes. Come on, man. I need that in my life. I need that no mosquitoes. We was outside. We was outside hanging out, just enjoying the fresh air. Like it's something about that fresh air up way up high. Hey man, just chilling, man, letting the breeze, feeling the breeze on every night. Just a good little breeze. Nothing major. And we even had a glizzy fest. It's crazy. Only thing they about to put on the grill was some jalapeno links, some other hot dogs, and then some sausages. And he was like, yo, y'all just out here having a glizzy fest. I see you. Shout out to Glizzy Fest 2026. Hey, it wasn't none. It wasn't no bugs. It was crazy. None, at least none up there. Not way up there. I could dig that. But that whole driving down the mountain thing, or having to drive up the mountain from where we were, that'd make you want to stay in the house. Like if you had to do that, that'd make you want to stay in the house. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was missing was the bidet. Hey man. We had a conversation about them bidets. We was talking about mailman pulling that bidet right on up out his closet. And there was a few people that agreed with me, like bidets ain't the devil. You just can't get surprised by it. And one of my buddies, he had spent some time over in Japan and pressed the wrong button unexpectedly, thinking that the water was going to go down. And that water came up. Wow, a double glizzy is crazy. Putting two glizzies on the same bun is wild. I think I might have seen somebody walk around like this. Double glizzy supreme. Nah, ain't nobody had no double glizzies. They would have got put out. Nah, I ate a double glizzy. Nah, I didn't eat no double glizzy. That's crazy. Eating double glizzies, that's two hot dogs on one bun is out of pocket. Just go ahead and put that out there, right there. It's out of pocket. So one day we decided that we were going to go out and walk in the woods, and as I was walking in the woods, I got an alert. I got an alert that two ex-NBA players were trying to go to the WNBA draft. Enos Kanter, who changed his name to Freedom, his first name to Freedom, so it's Freedom Cancer, and Royce White. They both were ex-NBA players. Royce White kind of flamed out because he was a little on the offside, and I say that, and I don't want it to be, I take that back. He's not on the offside. Royce White was afraid to fly. So, he has a flying phobia, which would make for an interesting situation as an NBA player and or a WNBA player because they fly too. So how you getting there? Has always been the question. If New York has to play Seattle, how you getting there? On the second day of a back-to-back, how you getting there? Because they flying. What you gonna do? You gonna rent a car? Hopefully it ain't from Toro, and hopefully it got good brakes. Now, in my mind, as I was reading and kind of hearing what Buddy was talking about, I was like, I know for a fact that you can't be serious, dog. You can't be serious talking about wanting to get in the WNBA draft and you wanna get on as a transgender. Hey, bro. In which, and I quote, this is what he came out and said: if the NBA tries to keep me off the court, they're gonna have a massive discrimination lawsuit on their hands. I'm not backing down. I'll see them in court. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, why? Like, for real, dog. Like, why? What we doing? Like, what? Why are you trying to go to the W, bro? Like, trying to go to the W is so crazy because you ain't got no real good reason, fam. Like, you want to go to the W and average 40? I would be all on board with every last one of them ladies fouling you in the way that they fouled Caitlin Clark. Because you have no real reason to want to go to the WNBA, bro. Like, that's crazy. That's out of pocket. Like, I'm trying to think of, like, any sport where, like, we'll just be cool with a dude just being like, yo, man, and we know he not about that life. He ain't about that real trans life. If he was, I mean, I take it back, but I think he just doing it on the discrimination side of the game. You out here, you trying to be Joanna Man. That's man, it's never gonna be right. I think that would be the part where I can't rock with you on this one, bro. People might try to watch it just to see how many points that you're gonna score, but I don't know, man. I'd be like, yo, you just gonna have to find me, man. I'm not putting my women out there on the court with this dude, man. I feel like for anybody who is, I don't know how I want to say this. It's disrespectful to people who are trans for real to use that as your way to get in. Now, there's so many different avenues that you can go play basketball that you don't have to mess with the WNBA, though. You just don't. There's so many different avenues to hoop where their product, you ain't got to mess with that. You're not making it better. It's just not what it is, man. It's like this. It's nonsense. Gosh, I was just like, man, I know you lying. And I don't even be out here hating on folks hustle in that way. But if you're just trying to do it so you can sue them, that's a hater move. And if you're just trying to do it so that you can score 60 on some women, that's a hater move too. That's crazy. I had a man tell me if a dude is a secretary, he gay. Well, I wonder how that person would feel if a dude was playing in the WNBA. It's so insane. I was like legit mildly hostile. Like, I was like, man, I cannot wait to talk about this because this makes no sense. And this is one of those that if he could be mad, it ain't gonna change how I feel about it. Like, hey, man, would you say that in front of his face? Yeah, man, it's a little out of pocket, bro. Leave that alone. Like, it's a whole lot of places where you can hoop for more money. You don't want to destroy these women? Come on, man. If you want to compete with women, they have a mixed 4x100 or mixed 4x200 that you can join in. They'll do that. Get on a bowling team where you can bowl against women. Not in the women's league. Let it be mixed. That's wild. That is wild. Like, bro, be want to use the girls' bathroom and whatnot. That's it. Like, if that's your move, like you just saw Joanna Man for the first time, it was like, wow, let me try that. But not necessarily on a sneak tip. I'm gonna do it out loud. I'm gonna just try to debo them into doing it. Here's the deal. If I was the WNBA, so that I ain't have to deal with no discrimination lawsuit. All of these teams should be, and if I'm not mistaken, privately ran entities. And you have the right to not draft this dude. Just like anybody else. You have the right not to draft this dude. For whatever reason you decide not to draft him, not a good fit with your team. That works. I'm worried about the chemistry of my squad. That works. That's some of the same stuff that they tell anybody who's supposed to be in a draft. Like, I didn't draft this ladies basketball player because I didn't draft Angel Reese #1 because somebody else was better. I didn't draft whoever to my team this year because we didn't have a need for somebody at that position. And you can't be mad because they did not pick you. They can let you get in. They don't have to pick you. They don't have to draft you. They ain't got to draft neither one of y'all. Enes Kanter either. But if they did, that'd be a can of worms that I wish they would never have opened. Yeah, that's so crazy. So, on my way back from Lake Tahoe, my flight again was at 5. My flight boarded at 5:40. Somewhere around there. It was early. But Tahoe is an hour drive from Reno where the airport is, and so still having to get to the airport at least an hour or hour and a half beforehand. If your flight leaves at 5:40, then you're getting on that plane. You having to get to the airport by at least 4 something, which means you had to leave Tahoe about 3, which means you had to get up about 2:30 to get 4 dudes loaded up into a SUV and drove all the way back. And when I got on the plane, there was this little Caucasian Menendez boy open and slamming his window shade right behind in the seat behind where I'm going. He in 10A, I'm in 9A, and he wow. And it took him at least 8 times to do it before his dad said anything. Now, I didn't say nothing about that. I put my earbuds in. I was like, if he gonna do that, I could turn my music up. I don't want it to be too loud. I'll ignore that. The thing you cannot ignore is what he did next. And what it felt like, he leaned back in his seat, put both feet right on the back of my seat, and was like, kicking the back of my seat. Oh, no. We're not doing that. And I know he saw my head move. And I know Because the plane wasn't even leaving yet. People were still getting on the plane. No, we're not doing that. I know everybody heard me. And he stopped for a second. And then he started again. And at that point, I turned around. Excuse me, young man. Can you please stop kicking the back of my seat? And his dad looked over and was like, okay. First of all, you're a little bit too spicy. Your son, wow. Already we getting on this plane at 5 something in the morning. And your kid acting like he hopped up on all kind of candy at 5 o'clock in the morning. So the white guy tells his son, hey man, hey bud, can you please stop kicking the back of his seat? And the son said, no. Now I'm offended, but he said he was gonna handle it. So you handle it. I said what I had to say. You know I will say something at this point, and I don't care about talking to a kid if you ain't gonna do it. But now that I've established that, I don't even gotta talk to you right away. You deal with it. Because a nice guy would have been like, hey sir, can you please ask your son to stop kicking my seat? No, I'm gonna talk directly to your kid since he got to do stuff a lot before you stop him. I'm not gonna let him keep kicking the back of my seat. I need y'all to know I got a problem with this right away. And well, sir, I will layeth of the hands upon both of you all. Upon the both of you, thou. But the only thing, you know what saved him is I traveled this weekend with the foster parent blueprint shirt on. And so, being out here thrashing people with a foster parent blueprint podcast shirt on would probably not be the most ideal thing. Speaking of, real quick, I wonder if I got that loaded up. No, I don't. Yeah, I ain't got that. And so dudes had to threaten to take the tablet away from the boy so that he would go along with not kicking the back of my seat. And I'm like, hey, I ain't taking all that. That no, I was like, y'all about to make me say something, cuz. You about to make me say something else. Because I'm trying to be cool. I'm very cordial, real polite. I use my, hey bud, that voice. I ain't want to threaten nobody at 5 o'clock in the morning. But what he wasn't going to do is kick the back of my seat this whole flight. And I was like, this is part of the problem with flying. Just in general, when it comes to kids, there's a level of consideration that you need to have for everybody that don't know your kids like that don't care about your kids like that. You got to consider all of that when you decide to bring a kid on a plane. That they got to be able to handle being on a plane. That involves not kicking somebody's seat 1,000 times. Bah, 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 bah. That can get somebody's ass whooped. I got to make my flight, but I'm not doing this. Don't make me turn into one of y'all. Boom. Hey, you know what? Here's the bad part. After he was slamming the shade, dude was like, hey, this ain't even our seat. You just sitting there until the person comes. This not even our seat. And of course, the Caucasian dude that was supposed to be sitting in the window behind me in the row in 10A, he walks up and is like, hey bud, do you want to stay in that seat? It's cool. I'll sit on the aisle and you can have that. And I'm listening like, come on, dog. You must want this little boy to get his ass whooped today. See, I ain't supposed to hit the ones that we got. I don't say nothing about yours. They ain't say nothing about yours. I ain't supposed to hit them. But yours and you, yeah, both of y'all can get it. Both of y'all can get that smoke. I was in a real bad mood. I was already tired. That 3-hour time difference, West Coast time difference had me in a chokehold. This boy was kicking my seat. I get to Phoenix, back to that stupid ass airport, and I have almost a 6-hour layover. This damn 6-hour layover, I'm like, I don't know what I'm getting ready to do. But it was already 108 degrees by the time my plane landed. So going outside was not it. Going outside was not it. Like, I'm like, hey, y'all wildin'. 108 and it's 11 o'clock. That is insane. And you know what? People defend 108 degree weather all the time, especially when they like, oh, it's a dry heat. But is it hot though? That's the question. Don't people always try to act like if they live in Arizona or somewhere where it's hot like that, or Texas, they always act like 112 degrees is cool because it's a dry heat, as if it ain't hot still. Well, at least you ain't gonna be sweating when you go right outside. But I'm gonna be hot though. It's still hot. Like this the part that they skip over, is the fact that it's hot. Oh man, when you touch the ground, it'll burn your feet. Yeah, because it's hot. The hell? So I walk around the airport. I go play this little broke ass golf simulator that they have. It wasn't working. It kind of made me mad, but they gave me my money back for it. I go sit down at this restaurant, and I asked for water and some chicken strips. And the lady brought back my cup. There's some water in there. I'm looking around, and nobody has a straw. Excuse me, can I get a straw, please? Oh no, we're a strawless restaurant, but you're more than welcome to go across the way and go get a straw. Now, I think she had attitude that I asked. I also think she had attitude that I did not get up right away. And there was a part of me that felt like if I had got up to go get that straw, I was going to order some food somewhere else since I ain't paid for this food. And y'all was just going to have to figure it out. Telling me I can go over there to go get a straw is like saying, please see the attendant at the gas pump. I'll go to a whole nother gas station before I go in there and see the attendant. I ain't trying to do that. I ain't trying to do that. Y'all messed up, not me. I had a big ass attitude. Cause I'm like, yo, so I'm supposed to trust that y'all wash these cups real good, and y'all just expect me to raw dog the rim of this cup. Or go over to the other place and go get a straw so I don't have to raw dog the side of this cup that I gotta trust that you didn't touch when you put the water in the first time. Or that your hands is clean. Cause y'all not worried about what happens when other people out here raw dogging these cups with their mouths. No, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But then I got to realize, I'm like, damn, I got a problem. Like, I have an anxiety that builds up. Like COVID created an anxiety within me when it comes to germs. Because I'm like, damn, you see all these people doing nasty stuff, and it's like, y'all still doing that? You still walking out without washing your hands, bro? So COVID ain't teach you nothing, huh? Yeah, you wildin'. Oh yeah, you wild. Oh, you still just gonna touch the the little. Dang, that was about to be real crazy. The little pole, you gonna touch the pole in the train with your raw hands. I know it's some people that didn't wash their hands when they left the bathroom. They touched this pole with their raw hands, and then you put your raw hands on there. And now you got ween residue on your fingers. Because people still out here being nasty. I saw somebody cough and sneeze, and they raw dog both of them. And I was like, I got to report this person. That's a bioterrorist over there. Hey, right there. Did not cover his mouth at all. Yeah, you got to get him. You got to get him. What kind of... I'm a hater in that way. Because all of that stuff get to me. And so, before we get out of here, this is a quick would you rather. I see you, Charmaine, because I got to ask these questions. Hey, so would you rather sit in a seat that's getting kicked from behind or next to somebody who stink? Hey, that person that stink on that you can't get away from that. You can't tell somebody not to stink. You might be able to try to send them to the bathroom to fix that, but they ain't gonna fix it though. They ain't gonna fix it. They kick seat, you can talk rough to somebody, they might stop. So I gotta go with the kick seats. I can stop that. You can't stop that funk though. Would you rather have a real rough landing or a super delayed flight? Like you knew your flight was gonna be on time, but that landing was gonna be ass. Or your flight was gonna be delayed. Your flight was gonna be delayed 2 hours, but it was gonna be the smoothest takeoff and landing that you ever had. Yeah. Hey, listen, them rough landings. Them rough landings make your boy nervous. If you gotta delay my flight to make sure that I have a smooth takeoff and a smooth landings, let me go ahead and get that good old delay. Okay? Let me go ahead and get that delay, because that, you know what? I had a landing so rough one time I felt like my spine got rearranged. Like the plane hit real hard. It was just like I don't think I was sitting in with the correct posture. And it was just like bam. I was like, ooh. Hey, that hurt a little bit. I ain't like that. Everybody want to be delayed. I'll take that. All right, so would you rather sit next to a big person or an uncontrollable kid? You rather sit next to a big... I'm talking about that meat. That big person, that meat is up under the armrest in your space. You don't have nowhere to go because these seats little, but they done squozed up in there. Hey man. If I had to choose, Pop said giving the kid, hey, that badass kid, you know what? I have a, this gonna sound bad. If it's a woman, the big woman meat could be up under the armrest. That kid, and I'm gonna have a semi issue because they in my space. If it was a dude, then hey, put that badass kid over there. I'll talk rough to that kid. So that one's contingent. It matters if it's a man or a woman. Would you rather be on a plane that was too hot or a plane that was too cold? Because I done been on both of them. You know, when we left Phoenix yesterday, it was 114 degrees out there. And this one lady had the nerve to complain that people had the shades down to keep the plane cool. Made a little wry comment like people act like it's illegal to put that window shade up. No, people don't want to burn up. But if you want to look outside, pay for the window seat. Do that. Or you could just ask. So we can tell you now. If you know what, there's nothing worse than a plane being completely dark and you sleeping and somebody opened up that window shade and now it's this weird light that's shining in the plane. And if you happen to be somebody who sleeps where that light is now shining in the plane and now it's shining in your face, I gotta say something to you. Hey, cuz, ain't nobody looking outside, nigga. You can't see nothing. You can't see nothing. He said, that's a good one. Give me the code, ask for a blanket. Hey, you can get your little blanket. But them hot planes be rough. Them hot planes, oh my gosh, them hot planes be rough. You don't want 5 people on your plane sweating. That plane gonna be musty. That's all it takes. It's a quota. There's a quota. But look, good people, man, I appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. Y'all have been dope as usual. I'm so glad I got my internet back working. When the internet started working, I was looking at that internet cord like
quarter, you only had one field goal. And what does it say about that this team can pull out a win like this when you're not having your best offensive game?
Look at that internet speed right there. Look at that internet speed. But while them texts kept coming out and not getting my stuff going or our stuff going, this is how I felt towards every employee of KCNC. That's exactly all of them. Until the guy that got here today, that got us back up and running. Man, I appreciate everybody. And look, guys, if you hadn't checked out the Foster Parent Blueprint podcast, go ahead and do me a favor. Check that out. It might be somebody who might be thinking about foster parenting or just have an interest in it. Go ahead. This podcast it gives you that peek behind the curtain. What really goes on. It's the real stories, real struggles, and real laughter when it comes to foster parenting. Go ahead and check that out. That is the Foster Parent Blueprint podcast. Go ahead and follow that on all social media, man. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to start posting more stuff on there. I had some time to go through and get some clips up. I'm on episode 4 right now. 5 is going to be dropping this week. Hey man, we trying to shed some light on this stuff, make it better, help these kids out, cause it's already not a lot of foster parents, but it's the demand for good foster parents is high. The demand for foster parents in general is high. The demand for good ones is even higher. And so, if this podcast does one or two things: help run people away that's not going to be good for these kids, or let people have an outlet to be able to share their stories, go ahead and share it for me real quick, man. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, good people, if you ain't already following the Strategically Reckless podcast, or if you hadn't hit that subscribe button or that like button on YouTube, go ahead and do it. I greatly appreciate that as well. Until next time, people, y'all stay safe out in these streets. I'm out, player.